Just look at the quality of this website I was able to create by following the Codex use case instructions exactly. It's really impressive. Hey guys, how's it going? There are a lot of people who would like to use Codex but get stuck on a simple question. Where do I start? What should I ask for? Which task really makes sense to hand over to a coding agent? And that's why OpenAI published a new page with use cases for Codex. In practice, it's almost like a catalog of real tasks that some teams are already handing over to their agents. Review pull requests on GitHub, understand huge code bases, turn screenshots into responsive interfaces, test applications by clicking through real flows, refactor code, fix vulnerabilities, analyze data, create internal apps, and even support scientific research. In other words, Codex is no longer being presented just as a tool to write code from scratch. OpenAI is showing how it can be integrated into the daily work of product, engineering, data security, and automation. So, in this video, I'm going to show you some of the latest use cases from this new page and, most importantly, how this can help you understand where Codex can really save you time in your daily routine. Alright, so let's get to the video. Well, everyone, today I want to share this news with you. OpenAI has just published a new page of Codex use cases. And it's basically a catalog of what teams are already passing on to their coding agents. Engineering work, product work, QA, security, data analysis, internal tools, and even workflows in life sciences. Some really cool examples. Reviewing GitHub PRs and understanding large codebases, transforming screenshots or visual references into responsive UI, testing QA applications, clicking through real user flows, and so on. So let's go. I'll show you everything that's on this new page now. But first, pay attention to this tip. Have you noticed that everyone in companies is talking about AI? What if I told you that you can learn everything about it in just 1 week? That's right. In this free course, you will see the leading AI tools on the market. You'll become more productive and a company reference by using tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Gamma. Learn to use AI for complex, repetitive tasks, giving you more free time for music. In the music company, this course is practical, straight to the point, and does not require any prior knowledge of AI. And not anxious.
Esse curso é prático, direto ao ponto e não
Stop thinking about devices and
ter nada de programação.
you will get ahead because you will learn to use the best technologies the right way, while the vast majority of people won't. The vast majority of people who have a lot of prior knowledge struggle in their day-to-day work. So, if you want to master the best AI technologies on the market and advance in your career, there will be this artificial intelligence journey by hashtag from June 15th to 18th, always at 7:30 p.m. And you can participate regardless of your current knowledge. You just need to secure a spot on the official website. Just click the link in the description of this video or scan the QR code that's appearing here on the screen. So hurry up and take advantage. To use it, it's very simple. I'll put the link here in this video's description. One important thing is that the page is in English, but you can ask Google Translate to translate it for you. There's no problem at all. You can understand everything clearly. So, I have here some use cases for Codex. If you're looking for something specific, just click here on the search bar and do your search. If not, everything is divided by category. I have here workflow, and they show several examples of use cases that I can use in my daily work routines. If you're looking for analysis, for example, there's a little button here in analysis. And once again, it brings up this collection. For example, set up a teammate, turn feedback into actions. Clean and prepare messy data, query tabular data, understand large code bases, learn new concepts, analyze data sets and submission reports. And here we have some options. If you click on the automation tag, it automatically takes you to this use case related to automation. Now, if within this use case, to set up a teammate, you want to build integrations, then there's another little tag here and you'll be directed to the integrations page. I'll show you how to use this in a moment. Lastly here, there's the intellectual work option. When you click on it, we have other use cases related to this tag. Look, intellectual work, completing tasks from messages, and then it shows you exactly all the steps you need to follow to execute this use case. Scrolling down the screen a little bit here. In the collections, we have productivity and collaboration, game development, production systems, life sciences, web development, native development, and security. So, inside these collections, we have use cases related to each one of them. In game development, build the first playable loop, adjust the user interface and controls, and handle the game's complex logic. Identify errors based on real signals. Review before merging. So, here you have subcategories within the use cases. You can choose one, and then you follow the step-by-step process until you complete the task. To make it easier to view, here in the Organize menu, we have some options. Recommended, popular, and most recent. So, you can switch here to see exactly what you're looking for. Once again, if you can't find it, just come here to the search field and type what you're looking for. So, how do we use these use cases in real life? I made an example here that I thought was really cool. I chose web development here. Then I selected the front-end option here. Then it directed me to this page here. Let me translate it to Portuguese. From idea to proof of concept. Explore the concept visually with the image generator and create a first version of your idea. And then it describes here for me what the step-by-step process is that I should follow to complete this task. Obviously, everything here is generic. You have to adapt it according to your content. Take a look. Use Codex with Image Jam to turn a vague idea into a visual direction. Implement the smallest useful prototype and check it in the browser. It also shows me which skills and plugins I need in Codex to perform this task. It also gives me a suggested initial prompt. And then he describes, start with a visual direction. GPT Image 2 is excellent for generating high-quality user interface prototypes. So, instead of starting from scratch, when exploring new ideas, you can take advantage of image generation to get a visual direction. You can do this in two ways. Use the Image Jam skill to iterate on the visual direction, or use the plugin and simply describe your idea. Here, he shows the use of the plugin. And down here, he provides the last prompt so I can polish my result after it's delivered. I'll show this to you in practice just so you can understand it clearly. So, this is the skeleton of my workflow. If I follow this properly, my result will definitely be much better. Okay? What are the ways to use it? You can simply click here to try it out in the Codex app. If you have it installed on your computer, it will open Codex and will already put this first prompt here so you can adapt it according to your needs. Or you can do it in an even easier way, which is what I chose. Why? Since I don't have much experience in prompt creation and I'm also not a developer, what did I do? I clicked here to copy the full content of this page. Then I went over to ChatGPT. I pasted the full content of the page here in ChatGPT and asked the following. Based on the data from this page, write the prompts needed to create a web page for selling games online. Then he thought for a few seconds and said the following. Based on the page's workflow, the ideal is to use a sequence of prompts. First, to manage and generate the visual direction with Image Jam. Then, to implement the page with Codex/build web apps. And finally, to test and adjust it in the browser. So, since I didn't know which direction to follow, I copied the content from the use case, brought it here, and asked ChatGPT to write the prompts for me. And it gave me three options. Prompt 1, visual mockup generation with Image Jam. And then it created a very complete prompt here. Prompt number 2, web page implementation with Codex. And then, once again, it brought another very complete prompt here. And finally, the last prompt, which is for verification and improvement with Playwright. And, once again, it provided the instructions in a complete way. How did I use all of this? By following the step-by-step guide that was described in the use case. So, I went into Codex and pasted here that first prompt that ChatGPT generated for me. It thought for a few seconds and then delivered the mockup to me. Look how cool that is. So here I have my visual direction. I know exactly what the layout of my page will look like, and that's very important so you don't have to redo your work. With these artificial intelligences, when you have a foundation and planning, the result is much better because you can already visualize the entire graphic part of your site, your game, and so on. So, he set this up for me just right. Look how cool that is. So I can visualize it here in real time. How my site is going to look, how it's going to work, what interface will be applied. Look how cool that is. Besides that, I also have access to the code in case I want to make any manual edits. but everything is right here. Once this first stage of the visual direction was completed, then I moved on to that second prompt, asking the following. Use the Build Web Apps plugin to implement a responsive online game sales web page based on the visual direction generated by ImageJane. So, it's a sequence. First, the visual direction. Now the implementation, the creation of my page. Once again, I pasted that huge prompt there, which is pretty comprehensive. It thought for a few seconds and then implemented it for me, right? Everything neat, everything working perfectly. And the cool thing about Codex here is that now we can see everything that's happening in real time. Then I moved on to phase number 3. Use Playwright Interactive to open the web page in the browser and check if the prototype is working correctly. So this is a verification step to make sure everything is correct. Look at what he said. I checked Playwright Interactive on desktop and mobile devices and fixed the issues I found. What was implemented? Landing page game vault with a fixed header, 8 fictional games with complete cards, visual filter by category, sidecart with items, quantity and total, buy now flow, adding the item and updating the counter. And what was tested? Then he shows the complete list of all the tests that were performed by Playwright. He made some adjustments. He saved some evidence that I can also view here in real time to see how he developed this test. Everything is available here, and he also suggested some improvements. And this was the result I got. Look how cool my site turned out. Game Vault, buy your favorite games online quickly and safely. Here I have the homepage, my catalog, promotions, categories, and support. Look how interesting that is. Everything is working just as I asked, following that use case from the OpenAI page. If I want to buy a game, for example, I just need to select it here, like Shadow Arena. When I click Buy Now, the game is added to my cart. Look, it's already here, Shadow Arena. And down here, the option to complete my purchase already appears. Obviously, if I wanted to turn this site into something real, I would have to integrate it with Stripe, for example, to be able to receive money. But for my front end, this example here is more than enough. Everything is working perfectly. Notice that besides the animations here, the buttons are fully responsive. So here I have, look, action games, racing, sports, indie, and all together. So for an initial front-end project, this is amazing because I just need to follow these steps described here within the use cases to be able to implement my idea. So, for those who don't know how to use Codex or don't have much programming knowledge, this use case catalog is essential. Because here you have the step-by-step instructions on how to use this tool to create your website, your game, your presentation, and so on. Everything is described here and available for you to use for free. You don't have to do absolutely anything. Just click on the link that will be down here in the description of this video. Choose which use case you want to use and then follow the instructions here. If it appears in English for you, just ask Google to translate it. It'll translate it into Portuguese for us. Then you can apply these instructions however you want. Remember that you have the option to copy the page, bring it here to the ChatGPT, and ask it to solve everything for you. It will give you the prompts, then you'll come here to Codex, paste these prompts, and you'll automatically get your result, which you can publish, implement, improve, or do whatever you want with. The base, the original concept, you get from the use cases. Then you bring it here and adapt it according to your needs. So did you like it? Can you apply it in your daily life? Tell me if you use Codex and why down here in the comments, okay? I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
The haptic feedback stutters under my thumb.